TESOL Trainers. We are your scaffold to success.
Hi, Dr. John Kongsvik here. I am the director of TESOL Trainers. We work with K-12 schools all over the world that serve multilingual learners. And today I'm here to talk to you about student engagement. Everybody who's taught knows how critical this is. I mean, in fact, if you don't have a student engagement, folks, what do you have? So I'd like to share with you 4 simple strategies that you can put into play to maximize the student engagement that you get in your teaching context. The first one is meaningful work. Why do for the students what they can do for themselves? The more engaged students are in their own learning process, the more meaningful they see what they do. Now, this can be as simple as getting my students to pass out the materials, getting them to create the materials. In fact, the materials that I create for my students, they tend not to treat that stuff with respect, and they tend to disregard a lot of stuff that I spend a lot of time making. They tend to treat the things that they create with a little more respect. I can also get my students to ask and answer the questions, not just answering them. I can even get my students to correct one another. All of that creates an atmosphere in which students do their own work for them. Strategy number 2, mix it up. Learning doesn't always have to take place sitting down in rows facing the smartboard. There's a lot of movement that I can make happen in the classroom to just shake it up a little bit. How might this look? I could give my students a little chance to do a mix and mingle. Maybe we just finished a unit or read a couple of pages of something, and after we've summarized it orally as a class, I say, stand up, find a partner, and I want you to summarize that to a partner, and maybe I have them do it with 3 partners. Maybe we're studying parts of a cell, and I've got these pictures of parts of a cell all over the room, and they go with a partner from station to station, practicing identifying parts of a cell. There are a whole host of ways that I can incorporate movement into the classroom and get my students out of their seats, get the blood flowing, and get those neurons stimulated in their brains. Strategy number 3, maximize those opportunities students have to interact with the language, with the content, and with one another. You know, those equity sticks where you pull a popsicle stick out of a cup and you call Juan Luis. Juan Luis answers a question, then you call Olga and Olga answers a question. I don't think there's too much equity in those for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, when I call Juan Luis's name and Olga's name and these 3 other students' names, usually I'm the only person listening to what that student has to say. Reason number 2, the other students, in addition to being disengaged, are often thinking of something else. And reason number 3, in the amount of time it takes me to call 3 students, I could get students to do a pair share with 2 or 3 different partners and share with one another, both asking and answering those questions. So in terms of maximizing opportunities, I could use pair share as a way to give every student an opportunity. That's true equity, giving students a volume, giving students a variety. I can also use other configurations like conversation circles or conversation lines to give every student a volume and a variety of opportunities. Strategy number 4, metacognitive moments. Metacognition, or thinking about your thinking, or just reflecting on your own position in your own learning process, is a powerful way to engage the brain and engage the learner. So at any given moment in the class, I can stop and ask students questions like, hey, how do you feel about that? Did that help or hindered your learning? Turn to your partner and tell your partner, what were you just daydreaming about? Maybe I use giant flip chart pieces of paper and have them mind map something on the floor. I could even play the what if game as we're reading a story or reading a chapter book. We can set goals, measure goals, and even modify goals as a way to scaffold students into realize that they are the most important ingredient in their own learning process. Teachers, here's the deal. If you are doing the same thing in your class that everybody else is doing in their class, the chances are you're going to get what everybody else is getting in their class. We've got to find a way to shake it up. And these 4 strategies give us an opportunity to do it. You got to find a way to make them do their own work. We can find ways to make them move in the classroom. We can find ways to maximize the volume and variety of opportunities we give them. And we can certainly find ways to make metacognition be the centerpiece in what happens in and among the students in our classroom. My name is Dr. John Kongsvik. I am the director of TESOL Trainers, and we are your scaffold to success.
TESOL Trainers. We are your scaffold to success.